All right, it is 7 o'clock. We are going to get it started. Hello, Miss Caroline. How are you today? Hopefully, you are doing great. Hopefully, you are doing well. I know some of y'all are going to be testing soon. Some of y'all be testing tomorrow. My students will be testing tomorrow. Some of y'all will be testing this weekend. You got this. You got this. So, oh, good. I'm glad you're doing well, Miss Caroline. hmm I was actually thinking about you today, Caroline. I had weird songs going through my head, and I was like, you know who would enjoy these weird songs? Caroline. I'd say she would appreciate the weird songs going through my head. So. But let's get right into it. As always, if you have questions, we'll miss you on Sunday. Well, I'll be on Sunday. I'll be here on Sunday. I'm trying to say, you know. All right. I know you very well. All right. So let's get into it with our first question. And hello, Megan, and hello, Nah. I see y'all too. Don't think I don't see y'all. All righty. Which of the following is true about FHA loans? We're looking for there's three false problems, three false statements, and one true statement. So we got A, they are made directly by the federal government. We got B, they cannot be used for condominiums. C, they require mortgage insurance premiums. Or D, they have no maximum loan limits. What are you all thinking? Put it in the chat. 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 Oh, I see what you're saying, really. You missed her on Sunday. I got you. I thought you were talking to me. You know I'm a little slow. You know I'm a little slow. But who's got an answer for this question? Okay, Miss Megan, you're saying C. We get a little M here for C. Anybody else? Anybody else? Well, let's go through and let's eliminate some. I know it's not D. We know with FHA loans, there are maximum limits, but those limits vary by the average price of the home near your house, right? And we know that it's not B. We know it's not B because, yeah, you can buy a condo with FHA loan. They've got rules, but you can buy it. Sure can. So now we're down between A and C. Nah, you said A. Caroline, you said A. And Marilla, you said A. ML, right? But Megan, you said MC. And for this one, I gotta say, good job, Miss Megan. The answer is C. We know if it's an FHA loan, then you're gonna pay MIP. But if it was a conventional loan, you pay PMI. So what makes A wrong? They are not made directly by the federal government. FHA provides the mortgage insurance premium, right? This loan actually comes from the bank. It's the bank that decides what your interest rate's going to be, right? So good job, Miss Megan. Good job, Miss Megan. And just because we're talking about it, and because I know so many of you all are going to be testing soon, we also know that VA loans, they're not insured by the government, they are guaranteed. So good job, Megan. I like it. All right, 147. Trade fixtures installed by a commercial tenant, what? Trade fixtures installed by a commercial tenant, is it A, may be removed by the tenant before the lease expiration, B, cannot be removed under any circumstances, C, automatically become the landlord's property, or D, become real property immediately upon installation? So let's see. Really, you said for 147, you've given me an A here from Really. Yay. Yes. Okay. And we got Na saying 147 is A. Oh, wait, that's not an N. This is an N. And we got Megan saying it's A. Well, you know what? I can automatically say we don't like this word automatically. I can remove that one. And in this case, I would agree with you all. Our answer is, in fact, may be removed by the tenant before the lease expires. Now, remember, if the tenant leaves it, then it will become the property of the landlord, but they can take it with them. You know, they can take it. And hi, Trix. I couldn't see my chat before that, but hello, Miss Trix. I see you answer correctly both on the first and the second one. And Miss Trix, Kiss Caroline says hi too. She says hello. All right, let's roll on, ladies. Ladies rule the world. Who runs the world? Squirrels. Who runs the world? Squirrels. Okay, we're not squirrels, but we're pretty darn cute like they are. 148. A subordination clause affects. A subordination clause affects A, the interest rate of the loan, B, the loan term, C, the priority of liens on the property, or D, the borrower's liability. Ooh, what say you? You said you just got a good refresh doing the continuing education. Good. Awesome. I love that, Tricks. All right. So for 148, we got Na saying C. Boo, boo, boo. We got Caroline saying C. And we have Megan saying C. We got Caroline. We got Megan saying C. Mm-hmm. Look at y'all. The priority of liens on the property is, of course, the right answer. We know, actually, can anybody tell me? Oh, and Griff got it right too. Hey, Griff, I see you there. Hello, sir. Griff got it right as well. Can anybody tell me the first lien paid in most states? What is the first lien paid?
Would it be taxes?
It is the taxes. Hey, Caroline said, I know this one. I'm coming online. Taxes. Yes. Those are our real property taxes. Those get paid first. Nice. Y'all are geniuses. Mhm. All right. 149. The appraisal principle of change recognizes that the appraisal principle of change. Y'all know you got to know these principles for the test. That the appraisal principle of change recognizes that A, zoning never changes. B, all improvements increase value equally. C, economic and social forces constantly affect property values. Or D, property values remain constant. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say we all know the answer is not D. We are still not paying what my grandparents would have paid when they bought their house in Detroit. I wish. I wish. I see. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So Griff said it's 149. Really said it's 149. Nas said it's 149. Okay. It's 149. I'm trying to say C. All y'all knew the answer was C. Economic and social forces constantly affect property values. And let me just say, y'all, if you're going into residential real estate, I think I said this last class too, learning how to do a good CMA is going to be key. If you can really price and be able to tell what to put on a house on the market for, you are going to do really, really well. And I don't see that in my chat on the Zoom room. I see you asking for it. We like carrots. Crunch, crunch, crunch. We love it. All right. Next question. A prescriptive easement is acquired through what? A prescriptive easement is acquired through? Is it, you didn't hear this time? Uh-oh, let me make sure. Let me make sure I share the sound. Okay. Nope. Let's try it again. Do you hear it now?
I like carrots, and you should too. It goes crunch, 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 and it's good for you.
We like carrots.
And you should too. It goes
Crunch, crunch, crunch. All right, you hear it this time. Hey. And yes, you all hear it. And hello, Stacy. Welcome in. And Griff, I know you've been coming pretty often. If you want to attend in the Zoom room, you want to be live with me so you can, I can see stuff. You can always email me at CandiceEllis@gmail. I just don't want you to feel like you can't be in there with us, so you can. All right, back to 150, a prescriptive easement. And that's for everybody. Anybody can join us in the Zoom room. A prescriptive easement is acquired through A, necessity due to landlocked property, B, government condemnation, C, a written agreement between property owners, or D, continuous, open, hostile use for the statutory period. Ooh. Oh, you're very welcome, Mr. Griff. Who's got an answer for 150? All right, Megan says it is D. We got Megan saying it's D. All right. We got Marilli saying it's D. Caroline and Naw say it's D. Right. We got D big D B big. Okay. We got 44958 says it's D. Hello, you. I don't know who you are, but hello and welcome. And Griff says it's D, and Trix says it's D, and the person we don't know, because I don't know, 4958, they said it's D because all of you all are geniuses. Now, because I know you. Oh, Stacy, I didn't see that. I see that Stacy got it right too. We know it's a prescriptive easement if you are trying to claim use of the land. If you have continuous, open, and hostile use of land, but you want to own it, what is that name? If I say, hey, I want this land to be mine, not yours, and I can prove that my use was continuous, my use was open, my use was hostile, what am I making a claim for? It's Nathan. Oh, hello, Nathan. Hello. Okay, we won't give you a question mark. You get an N. You get an N. Can anybody tell me if I come to you, you rehearse with the choir and you're loud? Tricks, no worries. Anytime you want to come in. But what do we call it, y'all? Okay, Megan's got it. Megan has got it. It is adverse possession, right? A prescriptive easement means you're forcing the use of the property, and when you make a claim for adverse possession, you want to own the property. Hello, Amani. Hello. I see you there. So that is the difference, right? Adverse possession, I'm trying to make it mine. Prescriptive easement, I'm trying to say, you can't stop me from using it. All right. Number 151. If annual property taxes of $7,200 are paid in arrears and closing occurs on April 30th, what proration amount does the seller owe using a 360-day year? Okay, key point here. We're using 360-day year, the banking year. So what we know is if this is January 1st and this is 12/30, we've got a closing happening 4/30. And the taxes are going to be paid, let's assume if this is 2026, they're going to be paid in 2027. But this was our closing. I'm hoping we all understand that the seller owns the house 1/1 to 4/30. And then this buyer owns the house for the rest of the year, but it's the buyer that's going to pay the entire tax bill. So what we need to know is, well, how many days is this going to take, and how much per day? So let's go for it. I'm going to take the 7,200. I'm going to divide it by 360. This will give me a daily amount of taxes, which is, let's see, 7,200 divided by 360 equals $20 a day. And then we know we have January 30 days, February 30 days, March 30 days, and of course, April 30 days. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 120 days times $20 a day, giving us an answer of, survey says, $2,400. And once again, Griff and Caroline, and wait, Caroline, you said D for 151. So let's figure out what we did wrong there. But no, you got it right. Okay, Caroline, you did get it right when I did it that way. Griff got it right. Griff, you are just, I'm gonna need you to come into the Zoom room. I'm gonna have to see who this person is who's just scoring this right, man. Scoring this right. So, boop. 2,400 is our right answer. You meant A. Okay, good. Because if we need to go over how we do that again, I can. I know math isn't everybody's jam. That's definitely not my jam. But we got to get it down. We got to do it, people. 152. The document that shows the mathematical division of closing costs between the buyer and the seller is the what? Again, the document that shows the mathematical division of closing costs between buyer and seller is the A, purchase agreement, B, promissory note, C, settlement statement, or D, title insurance policy. Ooh, what have we here? What have we here? Now, I see the Zoom room. Every single person has answered this question correctly. I have yet to get an answer from the YouTube room. Do 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 do. Anybody in my YouTube room know the answer? Now you know there's a little bit of a delay, so we'll give them a second. Give them a second. Let's eliminate some. Well, you know it's not the purchase agreement. You know it's not the promissory note. So now we're between C and D. So okay, Nathan, you're thinking that the answer would be A, but it's the mathematical division of closing costs. So the answer wouldn't be A, because the purchase agreement would just say if the seller was going to pay some closing cost, how much would it be? But it doesn't show exactly which closing costs would be paid, right? So, okay, C. Yes, it is C. It is the settlement statement. So let's go into a little history about this. We all are familiar with TRID, right? We all know TRID, and we know TRID is the TILA RESPA integrated disclosure. We know this is about merging paperwork. Well, RESPA says, one of the rules of RESPA, you know, there's 7 things, says, hey, if you're doing a closing related to, you know, residential real estate loans and banks, there has to be a uniform settlement statement. And before TRID, so before 2016, we called that the HUD 1. In fact, we also know that if people are doing a cash deal or they're doing commercial, they would still, or like seller financing, they would still use a HUD-1 settlement statement. But Trig came along and said, you know what? Instead of the settlement statement, let's use the CD, which stands for closing disclosure. But the CD and the settlement statement are the same thing. It's a breakdown of the costs between the buyer and the seller. We know on the CD, those numbers are either going to be a buyer debit or a buyer credit or a seller debit or a seller credit. So it is also called a settlement statement. Hopefully that makes sense. Is that what shows out? Yes, it shows the breakout of all the costs. Exactly, Trix. Exactly. Nice. See, when you all aren't sure, and I appreciate you, Griff, saying you don't know, I don't mind. That's why we're here to workshop. You tell me, hey, Candace, I need more information on it, and then I can give you a breakdown like this. I can, oh, look, my phone is ringing, but I don't get paid for this, so I'm going to tell her I'll call her back. Hold on, y'all. Hey, ma'am, I'm doing a webinar. I'll call you back.
Okay.
Okay, bye. See, since I do this for free, y'all got to hear me tell my friend I'll call them back. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn off my phone. That's my best friend's sister, who's like my sissy. All right, are we good on this one? Are we good on TRID and RESPA? Because you know you're going to be tested on it. Make sure everybody understands TRID and RESPA. Okay. 153. A real estate contract that includes terms that violate public policy is. A real estate contract that includes terms that violate public policy is A, void, B, valid but subject to reformation, C, unenforceable, or D, voidable. What say you for 153? What say you? Okay, we got A's. We got A's. I got lots of A's coming in so far in my Zoom room. Let's see what the YouTubers have to say. What do my YouTubers have to say? I'm going to tell you this: subject to reformation is not the answer. So if you're thinking that's it, think again. Boom. Hey, Amani. Ooh, Trick says it's A. We like it. Trick says it's A. And I mean, if Trick says it's A, then clearly our answer is A for A. Yo, A. Okay, that's enough of that. Why am I in such a singy mood? I don't know. Oh, it's because I spent the morning with my dad. He always puts me in a good mood, y'all. He does. All right, question 154. An agent who shows properties only in certain neighborhoods based on a buyer's familial status is engaging in. Now, you know the answer choices are steering, redlining, misrepresentation, and blockbusting. And you know full well that you need to know the definition of blockbusting, redlining, and steering. And we also know that blockbusting is also known as panic peddling. Is it P-A-D-A-L, peddling? 2Ds, pedal, panic selling. I'm sure I could spell peddling if I thought about it. You know what? But don't judge. Panic peddling. We'll just do this. My spelling skills compared to when I was young have really gone downhill, y'all. You know you need to know those three. Have you even taken an exam where they didn't ask you at least one of those words? No. Has to do with fair housing. And oh yeah, everybody got this one. It's a steering, right? Easy point. Nope. It's it's important. It's important. I love that, Amani. It is important. Okay, 155. Let's see if we can try to get one to, teach y'all a little something. The loan to value ratio, which is sometimes called the LTV, sometimes it'll be the LVR, loan value ratio, but sometimes it's LTV, just FYI. The loan to value ratio is calculated by dividing A, the appraised value by the loan amount, B, the loan amount by the appraised value, C, the purchase price by the loan amount, or D, the down payment by the purchase price. Ruh-roh. Okay, Megan says B. We got Megan going with a B answer here. All right, Na saying B, Stacy saying B. Now, this is a great example for my California people. What I mean is you don't have math on your exam, but they could still ask you like a math verbal question like this. So we got to make sure we get these down. The loan to value ratio is calculated by dividing. Well, it's not being done by your down payment and your purchase price. Loan to value ratio, just in the words, we know it has to do with the loan and the value. Right? Now that means we could go ahead and get rid of the purchase price by the loan amount. It's either A, the loan amount by the appraised value, or the appraised value by the loan amount. What say you? All right, Nathan's giving me a B, and you know what, Nathan? We'll call you NT. Nathan and everybody else is correct. It is the loan amount by the appraised value. Nice job. Nice job. All right, because remember, if there is just as a reminder, if you get an appraised value in a problem and they give you the purchase price, you're going to go with whatever's lower. Always go with the lower number. Okay. All right, next, 156. A warranty deed covenant stating that no undisclosed liens exist on the property is the covenant of what? So the warranty deed, otherwise known as a general warranty deed, covenant stating that no undisclosed liens exist on the property is the covenant of, or the warranty of season? Is it the covenant against encumbrances, the covenant of quiet enjoyment, or the covenant of further assurance? Ooh, I'll be impressed. All right, we got 155. B, we got a B. Bees in the trap, bees in the trap. Bees in the trap, bees in the trap. All right, we got all B's, the covenant against encumbrances. That is our right answer. But what does season mean? What is the covenant of season? And don't forget, it could be spelled with a Z. What is the covenant of season? That you have the right to convey. Megan is not coming to play today, y'all. Megan said, I am passing this test. Don't play with me. She said, do not play. Do not play. So season means you have the right to convey. It has to do with like ownership. You own it in a way that you can convey it, right? The covenant of season. Love it. Megan, I'm very proud of you. I mean, I'm proud of all y'all, but very proud of you. Okay. Question 157. Which of the following would typically terminate a listing agreement? Which of the following would typically terminate a listing agreement? So we know that listing agreement is between the seller and the broker, or the brokerage, if you want to say it that way, right? Is it A, transfer of the listing to another salesperson in the same brokerage? B, destruction of the listed property? C, a price reduction, or D, death of the listing salesperson? 157. I'm getting some B's coming through. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. It's just a great song. And yes, our answer is B, destruction of the listed property. All right. I feel like these are getting too easy for y'all. I mean, I know it's a good review, but I'm feeling like I'm going to have to tell Claude, these are the Claude questions. I feel like I'm going to have to tell Claude to give me some harder questions next time. I feel like that's going to have to happen. Not that I'm not happy that you all are getting these right. I just want to make sure I'm challenging you so you're learning something new every time. Question 158. A condominium owner's interest in the common area is typically what? A condominium owner's interest in the common areas is typically A, leased from the association, B, owned individually with the right to sell separately, C, an undivided interest proportionate to unit value, or D, owned jointly with the right of survivorship. What we got here? Okay, we got 158 coming in. I got some answers for 158. Is it your answer? Is it your answer? So far, we've got lots of B's. We got B. Oh, that's C. Sorry, I meant to say C. C, 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 C. All right. Now it's a condominium. What do we know about condominiums? If this is a condominium, you got all these units, right? All these units, that's the front door. And what do we know about the pool? That's a pool. Right? Is it, so Nate, you're telling me that pool is owned jointly with the right of survivorship? And we know this is different than a townhome, because we know the townhome, you get your unit and the land underneath. Right? That would be a townhome style, I should say. You could have townhome style condominiums, but there you go. All right, there you go, Nate. There you go. Our answer is C, an undivided interest proportionate to the unit value. Nice job. Nice job. And Amani said the common area is shared and undivided interest. Nice job, Amani. Nice. All right, 159. Oh, just because, and if you're not in North Carolina, I'm sorry. But if you are one of my North Carolina people, what's our magic day for condos? How many days do you have to back out because of the North Carolina Condominium Act? How many days if you're in North Carolina? And if you're not in North Carolina, check and see, do you know, does your state have some kind of statutory rule that says if it's a new condo, you can back out for a certain amount of days? All right. I see you, Megan. I see you, Naw, with the right answer. And yes, it is my other favorite number, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's enough of that. But good job. We know condos are 7 and timeshares are 5. Question 159. An amortization schedule shows what? An amortization schedule shows, is it A, the assessed value of the property, B, only the total interest paid over the loan term, C, the breakdown of principal and interest for each payment, or D, the cap rate for investment? What say you? All right, we're getting these C's, we're getting C's, we're getting C's. I see y'all. Okay. C, 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 and we know that.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
I want a cookie. Sounds delicious. Or a cupcake. Or a croissant. That would be lovely. And yes, our answer is C. We know the amortization schedule is going to show you, hey, here's your balance. This is what you owe. And then you're going to make a P&I payment. And some of that is going to go to principal. And then some of that is going to go to interest. And then after you make that payment, you have a new balance. Right? That amortization schedule shows you this. You can see, even though if it's fully amortized, this is going to be the same all the way through. How much you're paying in principal goes up every month, and how much you're paying in interest goes down every month. And we know we find this P&I amount using a factor, which is a rate of PI. Good job, guys. All right, number 160. Si, señorita. Thank you, Mr. Griff. Which of the following is not a protected class under the Federal Fair Housing Act? So that means 3 are protected and 1 is not protected. Sex, color, age, or national origin, otherwise known as Fred's corn. So Amani, yes, fresh corn will get you there too, but I like to say Fred's corn because for the D, instead of handicap, I like to go either say disabled, abled was the word for a while, or differently abled. I just don't want you to say handicap and offend somebody. Just there you go. And yes, you all knew it. It is age C. But age is protected in 1 act. Don't worry, Monty. Look, somebody corrected me. I was teaching, and then a student pulled me aside and said, hey, Candace, handicap's not the word. And so, I pass it on. Can anybody tell me which law or which act does protect age? Ooh, there is an act where, hey, okay, Megan. Megan is just showing up and showing out today. Yes, I see you, Megan. It is the ECOA. That is the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Age is a protected class. We love that. Love that. Nice. All right. 161. A quarter section of land contains. A quarter section of land contains. Is it 80 acres, 160 acres, 40 acres, or 320 acres? Right? She is quick, right, Caroline? She is on it. A quarter section of land contains 80, 160, 40, or 320. Caroline says C. Stacy says C. Megan says, I want to say B. So we got 2 C's. We got a maybe B. Now, Megan, what did I say? You should always trust your gut because Trix is right there with you. And our answer is B, 160 acres. Why? Because we know a township that is 6 miles by 6 miles. And then we break that down into our sections, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just pretend like that was 6. Sure, I can count. And then one of those sections, there's 36 of these sections. And then a section is 1 mile or 280 feet by 1 mile. And there are 640 acres in a section. So if we quarter that, If there's 640 acres in a whole section, a quarter of this would be 160. Trust your gut. Trust your gut, Miss Megan. Nice. Yep, and Trick said it right. Quarter divide 640 by 4. Love that. Y'all are rocking today. I love this. So yes, it is B. I think I'm sick of blue. Let's go with green. Number 162. The economic characteristic of land that refers to changes in a neighborhood affecting values is. The economic characteristic of land that refers to changes in a neighborhood affecting values is. What you got? Oh, permanence of investment, improvements, area preference, or situs or situs, or scarcity. What say you? What say you? All right. Oh, it's my brother. Hold on, y'all. Y'all want to hear? Hey, I'm doing a webinar. Can I call you back, sir? Okay. All right, bye. Always answer phone calls for family. Always. That's my rule, even in class. All right. Okay, Nathan, you said D, scarcity. An economic characteristic of land that refers to changes in a neighborhood affecting values is... We got Nathan with a D. We got Tricks with a C. We have for 162, what do I got going on in my Zoom room? All right, Nah, you said D. So we got Nathan, we got Nah. Ooh, we're kind of in the middle for this one. We got Caroline saying D. We got, okay, we're not in the middle. We got, oh, wait, yes, no. But we got Megan saying D. But then if I scroll, we got Stacy and Amani saying C. We're talking about changes in a neighborhood. Well, everybody knew it wasn't permanence of investment, and it's not the improvements, because that would be the improvements would be the physical. Is it situs or situs area preference, or is it scarcity? So this one is a hard one, but I believe our answer is the best answer choice is going to be area preference because of the changes in a neighborhood, right? That's about the location. Scarcity is just about how scarce is it, right? So there you go. Situs and situs are the same. Yep. This does mean location, which you can't have location without location and location. This was a hard one. I think that one, you know, if you said scarcity, you're like, well, the change in the neighborhood, maybe housing is scarce because the buildings got, I mean, that one's not the world's best question, but I do think C is the best answer there. Okay, 163. A landlord's failure to maintain essential services may constitute what? A landlord's failure to maintain essential services may constitute A, actual eviction, B, constructive eviction, C, adverse possession, or D, quiet enjoyment. Now, we can eliminate C because we already talked about adverse possession earlier. We talked about how if the use was open, continuous, exclusive, adverse, and notorious, you could make a claim that you own it. It's not adverse possession. All right. Oh, so this is CTO in Spanish. I did not know that. All right. Now, Nathan's giving me a solid B here. He's giving me, Nathan is saying B. Amani saying B. Nah saying B. Stacy saying B. We got Caroline and Megan saying B, and this B's not a trap. It's not a trap. Our answer is B, constructive eviction. Constructive eviction. Actual eviction would be saying, get out. Constructive eviction is where the landlord has made it impossible for you to stay, and now you get to leave. Leave, and then you cannot be responsible for the rest, right? Is that that's a bee? Oh, I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? Or it could be bananas. It's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. It's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Now the song's going to be in my head. So yes, our answer is B. 164. Which type of lease typically includes all operating expenses in the rent? Which type of lease typically includes all operating expenses in the rent? Is it A, a triple net lease, B, a percentage lease, C, a gross lease, or D, a net lease? Ooh. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm, 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 mm-hmm. 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 All right. We got B's. Okay, so we got two B's for, well, I wasn't sure. Maybe B was the last one. I think that was for the last one. I think y'all tricks gave me a B. All right. So let me say this. What this question is meaning is when you pay the rent is going to include. I think they could have made this clear. They're saying in this question that the rent covers all expenses. Because you could either cover expenses or it could say you, the tenant, pays expenses. And again, this is AI, so I can see how that would be weird, right? And I'll tell you, Nate, I was at first going to say triple net too, but then I realized triple net and net are probably too close for these answer for one of those to be the answer on a pre-licensing exam. So then I thought about it and I said, oh, they must be mean which lease covers all of the operating expenses. And so that would be a gross lease. But that was not your fault, Nathan. They got us. I think they could have written that more clearly. Right? Because that's what I thought. Well, like, oh, which lease typically includes all the operating expenses in the rent? Like, you cover the lease, the rent, the operating expenses yourself. So I get that, Nate. I'm gonna give you a pass on that one. And everybody else that read it the right way. So triple net and net are the same. Yeah, for them, I'm gonna say a net lease means the tenant is paying some of the expenses, Caroline, and triple net, you could have a double net. It just means there's at least 3 expenses that are being covered. A lot of people will use net leases and triple net leases, which will sometimes just be an in lease. They're interchangeable. And in pre-licensing, I can't see them asking you the difference between those. Yeah, but they're basically the same. All right, 165. Well, we're back here to some numbers. A buyer provides $10,000 earnest money on a $400,000 purchase. If the buyer defaults and the contract specifies the earnest money as liquidated damages, the seller receives how much? So we got to know the definition of liquidated damages. We know, got to know that. So if a buyer provides $10,000 earnest money on a $400,000 purchase, if the buyer defaults and the contract specifies the earnest money as liquidated damages, what is the seller receiving? Is it A, the property back, B, $400,000, C, actual damages proven in court, or D, $10,000? All right. 165. Okay, I see y'all in my Zoom room. All of you all with the same answer in my Zoom room. And okay, Trix is giving me a D. Under the sea. Or who let the dogs out? All right, we do have a lot of people telling me the answer is D. And yes, it is D. We know that damages when we're talking about courts and lawsuits and breaches of contract, we know that means money. And we know liquidated damages mean that the two parties in the contract, or how many ever parties are in the contract, they agreed, hey, if I mess up, here's the amount of money you get to keep. That is literally the definition of liquidated damages. And it is literally what we're saying with earnest monies usually. Hey, buyer, or seller, if I breach, then this is the money you get to keep because, I breached. Right? And we know that it's a breach because the buyer defaulted. They didn't get out of the contract because of contingency or due diligence monies or something like that. They defaulted. That is a breach. Now the seller gets to keep the liquidated damages. All right. 166. The term that describes combining personal property with real property so that it becomes part of the real property is what? Right? The term that describes combining personal property with real property so that it becomes part of the real property is A, conversion, B, emblements, C, severance, or D, annexation. Ooh, all right. For 166, let's see what we got there. 166, we got a D, we got a D, we got a D. And that means Trix is going to give me the nuts because D's nuts. Will I ever not be a 12-year-old boy in my head sometimes? No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Yep, D. We got D. Thank you, Miss Trix. I see you there. I see you there. And yes, our answer is D. Our answer is D. We know annexation is when you add to the property. Severance would be when you separate it, like you severed. Not to be confused with severalty, ownership in one place. Emblements is the right to go back and get your crops if you're in leased farmland. And conversion is when you misuse trust monies. Right? So there you go. Thank you, Trix. I see the nuts. I see the nuts. Hello, Dr. Felicia. Hello. Welcome. All right. 167. A loan origination fee of 1.5 points on a $300,000 loan equals what? A loan origination fee. That is code for charging you money because they're giving you money. A loan origination fee, because, obviously the insurance wasn't enough, of 1.5 points on a $300,000 loan equals. Well, what do we know about points? We know two things about a point. It will move an interest rate, that's an O, 1/8 of a percent, or 0.125 of a percent. And we know it costs 1% of the loan amount. So 1.5 points is equal to 1.5%. And we got a loan of $400,000. So I'm going to say $400,000 times 1.5%. That would be $6,000. Do we have that as an wait, did I do that right? No, I did not. Sorry. I was like, that's not right. I was testing y'all. Sure I was. I was so testing you all. I meant to do that. Don't mind the man behind the curtain, right? Y'all know my brain ain't right sometimes. Let's try this again. $300,000 times 1.5%. Bless my simple, simple heart. It is 1,500 for not 15, $4,500. I didn't mean to say that. And okay, our answer is A. Apparently, I need to have a drink of water because Lord have let's just. Oh, you're happy you found me. Thank you, Dr. Felicia. I'm happy you found me too. I'm so happy. Mhm. And Dr. Felicia, you know I do this live every Wednesday at 6, and I do every Sunday at what time do I do it on Sunday? 5. Every Sunday at 5. You're welcome to join us either via YouTube or you can come join us in the Zoom room. Your choice. All right, 168. Which approach to value would be least useful for valuing vacant land? Oh, I have my guess. Which approach to value would be least useful for valuing vacant land? Is it A, all approaches are equally useful, B, the income approach, C, the sales comparison approach, or D, the cost approach? All right, for 168, let's see what we're saying. For 168, I'm seeing B, 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 because B. I got lots of B's, 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 B's. Now, let's see. Nathan, you said B. We got some more B's. And guys, that is not what I haven't looked at the answer yet. Remember, I'm doing this call with you, but I think the answer is cost approach. I'm guessing. I have not seen this question, but it says what's least valuable. And before I check the answer, well, you know what? Let's check my answer. I think it's D. Now, we all know I don't always get the answers right. You just saw me mess up 167. So just because I think it's D does not mean it's right. But let me check, and then if it is D, let me tell you why. All right, drum roll. No pressure, Candace. You got this. You just got people who are trying to pass the test and trust you. They're hoping that you know what you're talking about. So fingers crossed. Let me look. 160. Hey, it's D. The answer's D. The answer's D. Hey, the answer's D. Do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance. All right, let me talk about why. All right. Well, we know our answer isn't A. All approaches are equally useful. And if you chose C, I'd be like, okay, well, no, remember, this is really the best or the only, as far as you all are concerned, the only and the best way to find the value of land, right? However, my first thought was, what about parking lots? Is it possible? Because, you all know I've moved back to Detroit. And I told my dad the other day, a couple weeks ago, I was like, why did we not buy some vacant land, like near Lions Stadium, the Lions Stadium, stuff like that, the Ford Field? Why do we not buy vacant land when we found out they were going to be rebuilding that in Tiger Stadium? We could be charging big money for parking spaces, right? And then my dad reminded me we are not outside people. Who's going to stand outside and collect those monies? Not me. So I think there could be this idea that maybe a piece of land, the highest and best use, is a parking lot. And maybe you could look at it from income. But we know the point of the cost approach is you got to find the original, or not the original. We need to find the price to rebuild, and then you got to depreciate. And you can't rebuild land. In fact, when you do the cost approach, you find the value of land doing the sales comparison approach. Really, the only way to find the value of land is the sales comparison approach. So the cost approach, it's not working. There's nothing to rebuild. At least with the income approach, maybe It could be bringing in money, right? You said, can this study help you although you're studying for the New York real estate exam? Of course, on the national concepts. Now, I know that in New York, you all still do your test paper and pencil, which I think is insane. And I know you all write your own test. You all write your own test. In California, write your own test. But for national concepts, like just things about real estate in general, yes, this will help you. So yes. All right, guys, I don't like to end on a note where a lot of us got it wrong. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody now, right? But again, I wasn't sure I got it right. That was my thought. And now I know I'm right. Those are my favorite words. Okay. It's 169. Oh gosh, you know what we missed out on? 6, 7. All right. 169. When a grantor delivers a deed with intent to deliver title and the grantee accepts, this is called what? When a grantor, we know the or is the giver, delivers a deed with intent to convey title and the grantee accepts, this is called A, acknowledgement, B, execution, C, recording, or D, delivery and acceptance. What say you? And Caroline, while you're thinking about this answer, I thought I'd tell you the song that was in my head earlier is one I used to sing at camp. Camp kids taught me this when I was a camp counselor. It goes, I'm looking over my dead dog Rover, lying on the kitchen floor. One leg's broken and the other one sprained, 'cause I ran him over with my choo-choo train. I know, that sounds so happy to talk about my dead dog being run over by I don't know, but just for you, Caroline, I sang it. And because everybody got this answer correct, I won't sing that song again. It's just so weird. But in my defense, the camp kids taught it to me. The camp kids taught it to me. What can I say? No, poor doggy. I know, right? And why did he run him over with a choo-choo train? And why do I feel like it's a guy that did this? I feel like this was a little boy. I don't know why, right? All right, guys, the answer was D for doggy that got run over by the choo-choo train. It is time to go. Now, for my North Carolina people, you got this. Everything you need to know for your exams, I've taught you. You just keep studying. And for everybody else, just keep coming back. Keep coming back and you'll feel confident. I mean, you don't have to get all of them right, but if you can get the majority of these questions right, y'all can join me in the wonderful world of being an agent. So guys, I'm going to go have a cookie and call my dad. D for dress and D's nuts and D for daddies, because daddies are amazing. I love my daddy.
Thank you,
So,
Candace. Have a
you
good
are-
night.
You too, ma'am. I will see everybody on Sunday. Bye, everybody. You're very welcome, Amani. And Dr. Felicia, if you want to be in the Zoom room so you can talk to me, just email me at CandaceEllis@gmail.com. And you can join us. No problem.